Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host, Ocean Cruz. And whew, what a night of boxing last night on the Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez fight. Uh, Pay-per-view. And if you paid your money last night, you got your money's worth. Definitely. The card was lived up. The card, all the fights on the card were all action fights. Not one dull fight on it, you know. And every fight from the beginning till the end to the main event was pure and was filled with excitement. I want to talk about the first fight on the card, which was Abel Ramos against Cody Crowley. That was a competitive fight. Both guys had their moments. Both drew blood. Uh, both were busted up and swollen. And in the end, Cody Crowley got the decision by majority decision. Close fight. Could have gone either way, but the judges saw it for Cody Crowley. Uh, Excellent win for Cody, and Ramos drops to 27-6 now. It's not the end for him. He's going to be back. Cody Crowley now improves his resume to 22-0, 9 knockouts out of Canada. I think he scored the biggest win of his career. As a matter of fact, the biggest win of his career was against Josecito Lopez, former world champion, veteran, the Riverside Rocky. Always an exciting fighter. But he got that win over Josecito, but now he followed it up with Abel Ramos last night, and a guy that's more in his prime. Josecito, when he fought Josecito, he was kind of on the way out. Josecito hasn't fought since, and I don't think he'll be back. Maybe he will, but he's not the same Josecito. But anyways, he got the win over Abel Ramos, scored the biggest win of his career now, and a guy in his prime, a guy that's So majority to win for Cody. An excellent fight. Kick off the pay-per-view last night. And the next fight I'm going to talk about was a very entertaining fight between Chris Colbert and Rayo Jose Valenzuela. That was a hell of a fight. Venezuela got the knockdown in the first round, and I thought that was it because Venezuela can punch, and he really connected clean on that counter shot. I think it was a counter right hook or left hook. Colbert came with an offense, I think with a right hand. He ducked. Venezuela ducked. Colbert was turning around, and he ran into a shot that dropped him, and he was really hurt, but he recovered well, came back into the fight, used his jab, started counterpunching, started to show why Chris Colbert coming up was a highly touted prospect. The skills, not much of a punching power, but the skills, the boxing skills he displayed. He was peppering Jose Valenzuela at times in a lot of those rounds, busting him up with giving him a bloody nose. Colbert, not a hard puncher, but he was doing his damage in that fight. And of course, Rayo with the more effective shots. He missed a lot of shows. He missed a lot too. Colbert had a really good defense. Yes, he was getting tagged, but at times he had a lot of his punches were getting caught in the gloves. Colbert was slipping, ducking. So a lot of people say Rayo won this fight. It was a close fight. Yes, the knockdown happened, and Rayo with the more effective clean punching, but Chris Colbert boxed well. He used his jab well. He drew blood from Rayo's nose, busted it up. It was a good fight. Close fight. Those middle rounds, those in between rounds were really close. Colbert won some rounds, definitely. Because there were rounds where both guys will take turns. Rayo win one, Colbert win one, and both guys. Colbert definitely came back into the fight, and I said, okay, if Colbert wins the last 2 rounds, Colbert still had the chance to win the fight. So if he wins his last 2 rounds, it was like an 8th round when I said it, and he actually got the decision. I won't agree with the unanimous decision. It was a really close fight. Could have been a split. Could have been a draw. But it was a really close fight. So I hope they run it back, to clear whatever controversy the decision was. Um, Even Jim Gray said it was a horrible decision. I, did, Chris Colbert. I don't mind him getting the decision. It was a close fight, but I don't mind them running it back. It was a good fight, so a rematch should happen next. It makes sense for both fighters. It's a good fight for both guys to run it back and to see who the better man really is. This fight doesn't do justice. But it was a good fight. Chris Colbert came out with a unanimous decision. The co-main event was Jesus Ramos against Spencer. That fight, I think it's Jay Spencer, his name. Co-main event. All Ramos, Jay Spencer got a little offense in, but he was not doing much. I'm surprised of how little success Jay Spencer got in this fight. Strong guy, good power, young, can fight. And Ramos overwhelmed him with his combinations, his punching power, his size, pushed him back. Jay didn't do anything, and they stopped it. That thing was in the 8th round. Corner finally threw it in. They just saw that Jay had nothing for Ramos, and Ramos got the decision win. Well, the stoppage. And then we got to the epic main event, man. Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, or David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Two top fighters at 168. A lot of talking in this fight. Prior to this fight, this is a 5-year build-up, and it lived up. Both said they were going to do this, we were going to do that. And man, when they went in there, they did it. Took a while to heat up, but once it heated up, we saw it right away. Combustion of power shots, a lot of punches. Caleb Plant, all his movement, eventually stopped, and he had no choice but to stand and trade with Benavidez, and he did. All busted up. Benavidez, with his hand speed and punching power and combinations and pressure coming in, and it was really getting rough in there for Caleb Plant, to the point where I thought they were going to stop the fight. The referee was going to come in. The corner was not going to let Caleb Plant out. But Caleb Plant showed tremendous heart in this fight. And he showed a lot of heart, man. And he was able to finish the fight. It was a competitive fight. Unanimous decision for David Benavidez. Caleb Plant got some early rounds in. But David, man, that second half, he came on strong, especially in the late rounds, championship rounds. Even though it was not a title fight, but it was a 12-rounder. We usually call those the championship fight rounds, 11-12. So David closed strong. He really wanted, like he said, he wanted to break Caleb's jaw. He really meant everything he said, and he showed it last night. He really wanted to get Caleb Plant out of there. And that bad blood they had, you saw it in the fight. Everybody got their money worth. I bought the pay-per-view, and it was worth every penny. Definitely lived up to the hype. Congratulations to both fighters, both warriors. Went in there, gave the fans what they wanted to see, and they sent the fans home happy. And it's a great fight. Great fight. Let's see what's next for David Benavidez. Hopefully he gets the fight that we all want to see as well, which is him and Canelo Alvarez. That's a hell of a fight. That's another barn burner. And Caleb Plant, well, back to the drawing board. He lost. He may have lost last night, but he gained a lot of respect. He gained a lot of fans, a lot more fans, for the heart he showed and the courage to stand and survive the onslaught by David Benavidez. Another thing I want to point out is the refereeing by Kenny Bayless. Kenny Bayless, one of the greatest referees of all time, true veteran, future Hall of Famer. He was a little off in that in that fight last night, refereeing. I felt he got a little too involved in the fight, too much breaking up. When David's trying to let his hands go in the clinches, he would get involved all the time. I felt a lot of times that he got involved and tried to break them up. I felt that they could have fought fought off each other, let them fight out. And every second, Kenny Bayless was like getting in there and breaking them up. Like, let them fight. It's a fight. It's like Mayweather was fighting in there. That's, when Mayweather fights, that's his boy, Kenny Bayless. He's always refereeing Mayweather fights. And when Mayweather fights, whenever they're in a little clinch or the fighter trying to get a little offense in that clinch, you see Kenny Bayless trying to separate them right away. So, same treatment. He made you think like he got money on Caleb or something, but he was just getting a little too much involved in the fight. Yes, he's a referee. He's a referee trying to do his job, but it's a fight at the same time. Let them fight. Let them fight. So, that's it. There you have it. Caleb Plant, falls short to David Benavidez in a very good fight. One of the best fights I've seen in some time. Especially that, with the build up, it lived up. Usually we get a lot of fights, a lot of talking, a lot of trash, a lot of this, a lot of that, and when the bell rings, it's told something different. I hope what we got with David Benavidez and Caleb Plant last night, we get it from Tank and Ryan. This is another huge fight. Both guys a lot of talking, same thing. So I hope it lives up to that standard, like how Caleb and David did. There you have it, Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, Ocean Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Like I said, it was an excellent night of boxing. Showtime pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. David Benavidez on to bigger and better things. Hopefully he gets the Canelo fight. Of course, once Canelo defeats John Ryder, if he's able to do so, then we can definitely look forward to that fight eventually happening in the future, hopefully. Caleb Plant, back to the drawing board. Like I said, he lost, but he earned respect. He earned a lot of fans. He lost, but he did not lose, because a loss like this does not tarnish your resume at all. This is not the end for Caleb Plant by a long shot. This is just a little setback. Showing a lot of heart, a lot of courage. Minor setback. This was a top fight, an elite fight. And he'll be back. He'll be back. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, Ocean Cruz. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.